you all knew what it was going to be before this list even came out. For movies and shows, the most anticipated project on our power rankings for June, The Bear season 3. Ricky Flex, was it ever in doubt in your mind?
No, that was the easiest one to put down on the list by a lot. I'm rewatching it right now. I finished season 1 already, binged it. Still great. Looking forward to season 2. After watching season 1, I haven't rewatched season 2 yet. Again, I've already rewatched it one time before, but I still feel like season 2 is better than season 1. But overall, this is the best all-around show on television, and that's why it's at number 1. It's the best blend of comedy, drama, tension, anxiety, laughs, storylines, acting, everything. Best all-around show on television. That's why it had to be number 1 on this list.
I had such a great time binge watching this last summer around the same exact time. I like the consistency where we're getting a great show, right? Consistently great show that comes out around the same time, and then you can watch every single episode at once. That's pretty amazing. Having all the episodes drop, it's such a binge-worthy show, right? It's got a good pace to it, 30-minute episodes, and that's a rarity when it comes to like prestige type of television. Matches like I said, the pace and the tone. Like having the 30 minutes seems perfect. This is a huge season for the show, and I mean that in like legacy wise. And the first 2 seasons are so well received and so critically acclaimed. If you're able to have a third season on the same par as season 1 and 2, you are now considered one of the greatest shows of all time. Like that like puts you in the pantheon. It's not, you can't afford to have like 2 great seasons and a mediocre season 3. This doesn't seem like a show that's going to have like 5, 6, 7 seasons. You might be only getting 4 seasons of the show, especially with like the star ascension of a Jeremy Allen White, of an A.O. Edebury, and an Evan Moss Backrack. Like there's too many good things happening for them. I feel like this is going to be a 4-season conclusion for this show. This is a legacy season, I think, for the Bear. If you're able to pull this off, you join the ranks. It's really hard to nail a finale. Usually, if you just have a formidable finale, like final season, or like really, really good, they kind of get like let you off a little bit. What really makes like the all-time shows is you have the amazing finale. But I think this one is just going to be like it clears, like it raises up in terms of the way people look at it.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think like after seeing the trailer last week, right, for this season, it looks like it's going to be them, the restaurants in full force, as in they're open and chaos obviously happens. And how can Carmi and team, Sydney and team kind of wrangle that in and be a successful restaurant and maybe get a star, right? While Carmi's also trying to balance a love life potentially, similar to season 2, but a little different circumstances. So for me, it's like, oh, how is this going to like differentiate itself versus the first 2 seasons, where the first season, obvious, takes over a struggling restaurant trying to turn it around. Season 2, I definitely, after the trailer, a little bit questioned saying, oh, like, we're not going to have any cooking scenes? Like, the restaurant's literally closed? Like, those are the best parts of the cooking scenes. But I just said 5 minutes ago or whatever that I think season 2 is better than season 1. Here, it's like I have those same type of questions, but at the same time, I don't question this show whatsoever because I know it is the best and they'll figure it out.
What interesting, like the first season, like it puts you in the setting literally in Chicago. It gives you what the pace and the tone of the show is going to be, what separates it and makes it different from a lot of other like prestige television. um you get to know the characters a little bit, and it's really focused on Carmi. Everything's funneling towards Carmi in the first season. The second season, it kind of gives other players time to shine. It shows like a different like tool in the belt, a different facet of the show. If they're willing to go an entire episode like devoted to Marcus, like you're able to have also such a high level of craft to it that people respect it to the point where you have almost unbelievable cameos that are showing up. Olivia Colman's like showing up in your show. Will Poulter's showing up. Sarah Paulson, right? Hall of Fame. John Bernthal again. It's like, wow, this is like, we should take this seriously. Seriously, it's one of our greatest shows. What I think the third season has to do is that you have to go back to Carmi. Like you have to, like, instead of having a whole episode devoted to another character, you have to look at him and his motivations with the restaurant, his deteriorated or his broken relationship with Claire, and him wanting to gain a Michelin star. Is he willing to ruin the family atmosphere that he has created with his staff in order to gain that Michelin star? Is he going to become everything that he hated regarding the restaurant industry in order to attain this goal? Or is it going to be more about keeping this family together along the ride as they ascend, you know? And I'm also looking at his relationship with Sydney. It's like him and Sydney, are they going to take this chemistry that they have obviously in the kitchen? And then is it going to then move outside into personal relationship? I don't know. That would be an
No, 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 no,
interesting
no, no, no.
choice. But I'm just saying, like, they're definitely potentially that was hinted at like during the last season with them working under the table together, right? And then saying like they kind of need each other. They're yin and yang. They're a great match in the kitchen, right? Could that spill over? They're literally partners when it goes into this next season as teased in the trailer. I'm interested what they do with Carmi, but I think everything has to go back towards him as compared to season 2.
I love that take. I think that's the right take. They cannot be a thing. Like we've invested too much in Claire in season 2. There's only going to be 4 seasons of this show. I feel like what they do with Marcus and Sydney, that's been tough for Marcus. I think that'll just add another layer that we don't need. I really don't think so. But I hear you. You're not alone. You're definitely it's bigger than a small. It's a big part of this audience is thinking the way you're thinking on that. I just think that would be a big mistake personally. But overall, I think you're exactly right. Kind of reel it back in because, like, if you look at season 2, what were the weakest episodes? I don't think the Marcus episode was weak. I think that was one of the better episodes.
Yeah, it was good.
But the Sydney episode, I think, was one of the worst episodes, and it was still
It
fine.
was weaker. It wasn't awful. It was just
Yeah,
weak.
it was just compared to the rest of the 8 episodes, that was probably the second weakest, maybe episode. So yeah, maybe just focus more on Carmi here, and especially after that last episode of season 2, where like he's in the fridge and like he's just letting it all out. It's like we need to kind of dig back into that where we saw in season 1. It's like him getting over the loss of his brother, getting taking over this restaurant, his relationship with his sister. We saw less of that in season 2. In current time, present time, we kind of have to get back to that because he is our main character, our main protagonist, and they are shooting season 4 back to back, like or season 4 right after season 3. It's probably almost done already. Shooting that, so that's gonna be ready to go. So I want to see that show do exactly what you said, but also carry that momentum similar to season 2 did for season 3 into season 4 for a nice conclusion.
Yeah, I'm curious with everything I'm hoping funneling towards Carmi. I think it's going to like hint towards the end of the show. I can't see this going more than 4 seasons for Key Flex, right? Like the
No way.
actors are too big, but like they are making these consistently one season after another, 1 year after another. It's not like we have to wait 2 years for a show. Like it's good. This is consistently awesome, and we're getting it on a consistent annual basis. I feel like 4 seasons is perfect. You don't want to overdo it. I feel like there's only so much story we could tell here. Um, Honestly, I wouldn't even hate it if like it was if they said like season 3, like they pull a Succession where it's like Succession. We didn't know that was going to be the final season. If they just go like this is the final season of The Bear, like right before it releases. I don't imagine that happening, but I could see that happening next year where it's like we're cutting it. It's going to be hard. It's a hard line here. The actors are too big, and like there's only with this pace and like with the pace of it, it's just like I feel like you can't really stretch it. You can't really stretch it. One
Yeah,
thing
I would
happened.
be shocked if this went past 4 seasons.
Uh, yes. What else? Do you think that Will Poulter is going to show up again? There's been rumor that he's going to be in the upcoming season.
Yes.
He's going to be with Carmi, maybe share a scene.
Yes, that's what I think. I think they alluded to it not only with the Marcus episode, but later on in the Forks episode, the picture of him and Carmi together. The rumors are circling. I think he comes back, but it has to be with Carmi. Now we can't have another episode of a friend of Carmi's not with Carmi. So that's going to be an episode for sure.
Yeah. Do you think this is the type of show where, with Succession, there was talk of like a spin-off with like the Disgusting Brothers? Do you think like potentially at the end of The Bear, after, because like AO Edinburgh is doing big things, you have Jeremy Allen White doing great things, Eben Moss-Backrack doing great things. Do you think there's a potential where, okay, we're cutting this after 3 or 4 seasons, that we can go like to Marcus for a season? Do you think like there's any potential for these characters to have their own spin-off or something, maybe going in after like a season 4? Is it too early?
I don't think they're big enough to command a whole season of television to be
Too
a
early to tell.
protagonist of it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
even one episode was a stretch. Marcus did well. Sydney, you would think she's big enough. I just don't think that episode was strong enough. But that would be like the only other character I would say. Like even like freaking Richie, Emma Moss Backrack, probably like the fan favorite character of the Bear. He can't command his own series.
Too
There's
big.
not enough. There's not enough substance there.
His character is like it's like he's too like volatile to like have his
Yeah.
own like spin-off show. But even if like that was feasible. Like Evan Moss Backrack is just too big.
Like
Like
you
he's
could do like a
awesome.
Will Poulter spinoff or something like that.
That'd be
But
sick, dude. That'd be cool. Yeah, but we'd have to know a little bit more about him. Maybe see him a little bit more uh, in this season. Maybe imagine if they did like a John Bernthal prequel, like John Bernthal with him early on starting the restaurant. That'd be kind of cool.
just chaos.
And then like Carmi's like not there, you know. Might have something there. He's in the trailer. We're gonna get another flashback scene. I wonder who else is gonna pop in here.